And we're live one last time. My final hike in Hong Kong. My final last hike around the peak. Thank you for the retweets and the shares. Go ahead and share this, guys, because, well, you're not going to see this again. This is my last hike up here on the peak. Good morning. This is it. Tomorrow, I'm on a plane. Today is the day. It has been years. How many years have we been hiking this? I'm so sad too. We've been hiking up here for many, many years. We are leaving for new opportunities in career and new opportunities in education for my kids. The end is nigh. The end is coming. Thank you for the shares, guys. We're not going to have many more opportunities to show you this absolutely stunning view of Hong Kong. So this is it. We are moving to Washington, D.C. I leave tomorrow for Tokyo, and on Saturday I get a connecting flight from Narita to Washington. So we're going to spend 2 days in Tokyo checking out the Pokemon. Will I ever come back here? Of course I will. I'm a permanent resident, so I will be in and out of Hong Kong frequently, but this is my last regular extended stay, barring some drastic change, which I move back here. Which could happen, though. You planned your trip here, that's great. What a city. What a view. You're welcome. Hope you enjoyed these scopes. I hope you've enjoyed Hong Kong, because it is an amazing place. We will be scoping from DC. I saw Jonathan last week. I'm hoping to see Raven today. You will be seeing some scopes from Washington, D.C. Noodles today at 11 o'clock. Yeah? So in about 2 hours, I will be having noodles. My last bowl of noodles. We did, the one day I came across Chow Yun Fat, I wasn't scoping. These are on YouTube. They all go up on YouTube every day. And I've got a whole bunch of these. I've got literally a month worth of Periscopes to upload to my YouTube channel, Penguin 6. You'll be seeing those. I'm moving to Washington, D.C. The view is, well, it's quite stunning, isn't it? Look at that cloud. Look at that cloud. So let's tell you, we're going to pull out the backup phone and take a picture of that view because, well, you just don't get views like that every day. Certainly not getting pictures like this where I'm going. I will scope in Washington, D.C. It just won't be as cool. My YouTube channel is Penguin 6, Penguinsix. I ran into Chow Yun Fat on Barker Road. His auntie, so I've been told, lives over there. It is the end of an era. Hey, how's it going? I don't know where I'm going to find fish and chips. So guys, this will be on my Instagram, Penguin 6, a little bit later today. Yeah, I know some. Yeah, the old noodle lady is going to be like, "You're leaving." No. Hey, welcome RK747 to my last day on Periscope in Hong Kong. Not my last day on Periscope total, but my last day in Hong Kong doing Periscopes. The view is amazing. I will have fish and chips this afternoon. I think I might have 2 lunches today. So the plan is noodles at 11, probably fish and chips at 12. And then on to a movie with my kids. And then, Matthew and I have talked about that. Maybe we should open a New Zealand-style fish and chip shop in Washington, D.C. You think that would sell? New Zealand-style fish and chips in D.C. The noodle ladies don't. We had dim sum with the Periscope crew last week. You're going to visit Pluto? You should visit. Round-trip airfare to Hong Kong is only like $600 American. 600 American dollars can get you over from the United States to Hong Kong. What a bargain. You could be here. You could be here soon. Well, not in the summer, but come the fall. I will still Periscope. My stuff left yesterday. So yesterday, the kids are going to see Ant-Man. My place is empty. This is my last scope, but there will be other scopers from Hong Kong. Jonathan J.K., Bex Rea, Steve on Radio 3, Raven Tao. I'll be tweeting out some of their scopes over the next few days so you guys can continue to get your fix. John Ho will come back every now and then. So we'll keep trying to find you some scopes, because I know I'll be watching too. We can't change it. Well, if we changed our mind, it would cost a tremendous amount of money. We're not sure. We would like to buy a place in DC, but that means we have to sell our house first, and I don't think we can sell and then buy in the time frame that we really have in mind. So yeah, but I don't know. There are probably some fish and chip shops in DC, but I don't know if they're going to be New Zealand style or Australian style. But I will be checking those fish and chip shops out, those chippies in DC. We'll see. No more McDonald's gourmet. Yeah, we'll keep telling stories somehow. It's going to be rough to lose the beautiful McDonald's gourmet here in Hong Kong. Waitress service McDonald's. Irish fish and chips. Oh, okay. Take a look at that view. Look at all the ferries. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about one last Etch-a-Sketch while we're here, okay? Start sketching. This is the IFC Tower. That was in Batman Begins, but this is the tallest building here, ICC Tower. Down here is Jardine's house. That's the Noble House. If you've ever read the book by James Clavell, Noble House, it was based on Jardine's house. This is the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. This is Bankville. All right, all these are banks. HSBC, Standard & Chartered, Bank of some random Chinese company. This is the Bank of China, and right next to it is Goldman Sachs, Bloomberg, and on this side is Citibank. This thing over here is our convention center, and the old airport is over here where the planes used to come in, dodge a few buildings, and then land. Yeah, we're going to miss these walks. We are moving to Washington, D.C. I leave tomorrow morning on an early flight to Tokyo, and then spending 2 days in Tokyo going Pokemon hunting. Yeah, we're going to the land of Pokemons. My kids really, really want to go to the Pokemon Center in Tokyo. So on the way back to the United States, we will stop in Tokyo. Yeah, it's been 8 years, guys. 8 years. You know what I've worked out the other day? I've been hiking this trail almost 4 years. Yeah, about 1,738 days. I hike this pretty much 2 out of every 3 days, which means I have hiked this loop over 1,200 times in the last 4 years. I've made this walk 1,200 times. That's about 3 miles. That's about 3 or 4 miles. So that's about 4,000 miles of hiking here on the peak. That's from one side of the U.S. to the other and then back a bit. Morning. You're going to say, hey, Spike, how's it going? That is a lot of steps. Am I going to shed a tear? No, I'm kind of a crying on the inside kind of clown. You probably watched most of them, yeah? You learned about Hong Kong. Yeah, it's an amazing place. I still have more to learn. In fact, maybe today I'm going to take you guys to an old colonial police station that's reopened. You guys know the Borg Cube? Sometimes I show you that thing and I call it the Borg, and I will take it in there. Hey, thanks for the super heart. The wild boar was a pretty amazing moment when the wild boar we chased through Hong Kong live on Periscope. Well, I come back. I'm a permanent resident, so I will be maintaining residency here. So I'll be back and forth. But I'm going to be in the States for a while. Kids got into a new school. That's the big part of it. Kids got into a very good school. We're releasing our apartment in 2 days and moving somewhere else. Bloody Sunday, the day the Japanese troops invaded Hong Kong. Christmas Day, 1941, the city fell to the Japanese and the war crimes commenced. You can read about Japanese war crimes in Hong Kong on the internet. There's a number of war trials were held after the war. Fascinating stories. What's special about New Zealand fish and chips? New Zealand style fish and chips, well, first he cooks it in sunflower oil. Very clean. He recycles the oil every couple days. So it's very clean oil. Second, he uses New Zealand Australian style batter. He won't tell me what the secret is, but I think it's pancake mix. So it's a very light, golden batter, very thin, very flaky and crunchy. Whereas like the British ones, they always come out kind of brown. His always come out a golden yellow. So if you ever get a chance to have New Zealand or Australian style fish and chips side by side to British style fish and chips, you'll be like, oh, there's the difference. We try to keep your days interesting. I've been told they put a lot of you to sleep though, because a lot of you are sitting in bed right now and hearing my dulcet tones telling you, oh, go to bed, go to bed. Batter from mineral water, maybe that's it. So today we've got a lot of stuff going on. Hey, Jonathan J.K. is in the scope. I think I see him down there. Jonathan J.K. is another scoper from Hong Kong. And if you want to follow him, there he is. You can follow Jonathan J.K. for more views of the city. He's actually pretty good at hiking some of the weird bits that I don't even get to, like the land of 10,000 plastic Buddhas. Hello. Yeah, he's going to try to get up to the peak. It's a new opportunity moving to DC. I mean, getting Hong Kong out of your system takes a number of years, yeah? And Hong Kong, yeah, Jonathan J.K. Who else is in here, Jonathan? I don't know who else is from Hong Kong is in here. Anybody else in Hong Kong can sound out, because I can't see all the people that are in the group. But DC is going to be a bit of a change. It's definitely going to be much slower, much more of a small town than Hong Kong. I was back a couple months ago and kind of like, meh. Jonathan J.K., yeah, we could probably meet up sometime. I've got a pretty busy schedule. Probably going to get fish and chips at noon. Probably going to get noodles at 11. Going to see a movie at 1. But, yeah, I'll text you offline. We'll see what we can do. Yeah, you can survive without a car here. It's a really nice thing. I'll be doing something new in DC. It's not yet determined what that is yet. The first month is going to be just sussing everything. I got to buy a car. So that's my task next week. Okay, Jonathan J.K. is going to Kennedy Town. So Jonathan J.K. will be out in Kennedy Town later today. Maybe he'll scope from the waterfront or something. I did sell my car. I've got to buy a new one. I have no idea what kind of car to buy because I've been gone 8 years and all these new models have come out. And all the old models I know are now really expensive. And I'm just like, what? I got to pay that much for that? Oh, working. The MTR is amazing. The metro in DC, not quite the same as Hong Kong. Not quite up to speed. You have to understand the MTR system in Hong Kong is generally regarded by pretty much everyone in the world as the best subway system in the world. So the DC metro is nice, but it's definitely showing signs of age. I have no idea where the dim sum is in DC. I don't know what I'm going to eat there. So we're coming back to a really good view of the city, but this is actually my favorite part of the entire hike. It's the most lush, green, narrow, cozy part of the hike. Super cozy. So for a moment it was kind of funny because my sons are going to a very good school, a very, very good school, and I was like, I can't really show up in like a Ford F-150 at this school. They'll all look at me kind of funny. I need a Volvo or an Audi. And I was like, oh, listen to yourself. You need to hit yourself in the face for even thinking that. So I'm not sure what I'm going to buy. Jeep Cherokee. Oh, that might be interesting. If I got a Volvo station wagon, I want the police package that they have in Sweden because the Swedish police Volvo station wagons actually look pretty badass. What's this? Oh, it's a baby. I thought it was like a bird or something. I was looking at rovers. You know what? Actually, this is the ultimate snobbery, and I don't know if I can pull it off. I want to buy a London taxi. Yeah? I want to buy a London taxi and import it to the U.S. Now, this is incredibly difficult to do. It's got to be at least 25 years old to import a London taxi to the U.S. Can't buy a new one. So, I've actually made inquiries to some brokers in England to see if I could get a London taxi. Wouldn't that be awesome? Talk about tanks. London taxis are tanks. I mean, it would be the ultimate runaround. Now, the problem is the newest version, the TX1 or the TX4, they can't buy those because they're not 25 years. So I'm looking at like a Fairway, a London Taxway Fairway, which is not really the best car out there. I'd have to work on it myself. London cabs are cheap. We're talking £3,000. Yeah, like 5,000 US. I mean, 5, 6, 7,000 US. All right, they're like nothing. But the importation rules in the U.S. has incredible tariffs on foreign cars entering. So it would be a bit odd. It would be kick-ass. It would be so kick-ass. I could advertise like, I don't know, they could like wrap the car with like feminine hygiene products or something like that. I don't care. Pay money. You know, like have one of those like stickers on there. I should do that. I should get like, I don't know, like menopause pills or something and wrap that on the side of my car and then drive my kids around the city in that. And my parents might be just like, Dad, what are you doing? Something drives them nuts. The kids would be like, Dad! They wouldn't even know what it was. Dad, what's erectile dysfunction? I'd like, that's why I gotta get my kids have to get ready for American cartoon commercials. Yeah, snow and cold is gonna suck. I'm sorry, but I used to be a cold and snow kind of guy, and now I'm not. I'm not really a mega heat kind of guy, but I'm not a cold and snow kind of thing. You can import it to Mexico and then drive it to the U.S. I know a guy who just says, let you drive it to the U.S. He'll give you $5,000 if you bring back a few suitcases from Mexico. Really? We have not passed Jack Ma's house. We're going down that. E.T. Yeah, the kids are gonna have to get used to all these commercials. May cause dizziness, may cause nausea, may cause flatulence, may cause, whatever. My kids are gonna be like, Dad, what are these commercials in America? I'm like, those are legal disclaimers put forth by an evil group of people known as lawyers. Oh, like me. We're going to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp. It opens this afternoon here in Hong Kong. Actually, it's playing right now. So my internet box, my pirate TV box, is in a big boat on its way back to the U.S. I'm Penguin 6, by the way. Welcome to Hong Kong, where we're doing my last ever hike around the peak. So many of these hikes we've done. We'll have a nice view up ahead. I'll just pause and let you see everything. Yeah, actually, it was really hard to get an IP. I was really hard to get a pirate TV box this week because of the World Cup. Yeah, the World Cup, the police cracked down on all the pirate TV boxes, so it became very, very difficult to get this. I got a lot of viewers. I wonder if I'm featured today. I think Periscope was considering me for a feature. Hey, Flames. Hello, Hong Kong. Let's keep going down the mountain. So there's some houses up on the peak. They're in the clouds right now. We're making our way down to Barker Road, and from Barker Road to Chatham Path, and Chatham Path down to my house. Big mistake moving back to the U.S. Yeah, the things we do for our kids. It's a real toss-up. I mean, given our druthers, we'd rather live here. Yeah? My wife and I personally would rather live here, with two exceptions. One is the cost. It's just incredibly expensive here. We can never buy a place. I mean, our place is 4.7 million US, and I'll probably do a Periscope from our house later, and you guys will freak out that I'm paying 8,500 US a month in rent for the place I'm renting. Second thing, my kids' education. Now, that's just a huge priority. My kids have been accepted to a very, very good school in the United States, one of the best in America. I am moving back. I'm leaving tomorrow. Leaving for Tokyo tomorrow, and then the United States on Saturday. So my kids have been accepted to a school. Oh, I'm in Travel the World. Cool. That's nice of the editors there. What's changed the most in the last 8 years? Hamburgers. We have an amazing collection of hamburgers in Hong Kong now. I mean, there's burger wars. I mean, there are flat out been burger wars in Hong Kong. And there are 20 or 30 quality hamburger places. When I was here about 15 years ago, there was one hamburger joint outside of McDonald's. and it sucked. Did the kids get interviewed by the school last summer? No, they had an interview over the phone over Christmas. The kids have not seen, my youngest has never seen the school. My oldest and I flew out to the school in March. We had a quick 3-day flight back to America. Yeah, literally, I flew back for 3 days, and the kids saw the school. So this is the Barker Road tram station, Barker Road, and we're going to walk down Barker Road to the Central Green Trail and make our way down into the city on our way back to see all the other stuff. You learn to move when you're mad. I'm sorry. I'm moving to Washington, D.C. The movers came yesterday. They spent 10 hours packing up everything in our house. It was chaos, absolute chaos. And tomorrow, I get on a plane and I make my way. I'm supposed to wait for you. Oh, bummer, dude. Did he like what he saw of the school? Well, yeah, he did. It was the best of the schools we looked at. But he's going to miss his friends. Both of my kids have been very sad that their friends are leaving them. They've been spending a lot of time with their friends these last few days. In fact, the youngest had a sleepover last night. But tomorrow we leave. My eldest will be in junior high school. My youngest is in basically elementary school. It is a good school. I know the U.S. has got a lot of things to fix, but maybe. See, hey, here comes the tram. We have to do one more tram video. Yeah, I think getting to London will be a lot easier. Yeah, thank you for sharing. My nanny is going to remain in Hong Kong. She's not eligible for a visa to the United States, as are most nannies from overseas are not eligible to come to the United States. As such, she will remain here, and she will need to find a new employer. And she's well on the way to finding her. Look at that tree. Look at that leaf. Look how humongoid that leaf is. Can you see that? I can't even show you. I can show you my foot. So like that's my foot, yeah? That's my foot. And then that's the tree. So we're still in my apartment. We have a couch that we're having picked up later today. So I slept on the couch last night. And I think we have a futon we're going to sleep on tonight. And then tomorrow I leave early with the kids on our way to Tokyo, and then we'll spend 2 days in Tokyo. There's not much place up here to rob. There are actually a lot of cops up here because there are a lot of robbers. Like when I say a lot, it means like maybe 2 or 3 a year up in this neighborhood. So they have like heavy police presence. Boys will miss the nanny somewhat. Neighbors, a lot of our friends are very sad. They had us pinned as lifers, basically. Most people thought we were never going to leave Hong Kong. Basically, when you meet expats, they fall into 2 categories. The short-termers who are here for a 3-year stint and never really fit in, really. They don't really adjust. And then more of what we call the lifers, who are pretty much immigrants, and they intend to stay in Hong Kong, well, for a long time. And everybody thought we were lifers because, well, we did too. Look how much construction they've done on this place. I think we'll pass on those grapes. They're just too expensive. Maybe we should buy some. Jonathan J.K. is a lifer. Jonathan J.K. was here. He's a young man and then went away to find himself and educate, and then he came back. He's just like, I've got to come back to Hong Kong. Too much excitement. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should buy, well, they're like $40 grapes. If I buy it in the market, $40 or $50 grapes. Maybe we should do that today, and we eat them. That's a new house going up. So this place here, you can rent about 1,600 square feet for about $15,000 to $18,000 US dollars a month. $15,000 to $18,000 US per month. This place over here is about $20,000 a month, but they're vacating everyone. I think they're going to tear this one down and build a new one. Been here 6 years now. Jonathan J.K. well on his way to permanent residency. One more year and Jonathan J.K. will be a permanent resident. My apartment has not been rented out. In fact, we haven't handed it over to the landlord. He's going to have some work to do because there's some water damage in the apartment. It's going to freak you out when I show you. Yeah, the economics are pretty nuts. In fact, this place over here, 42 million US dollars. 42 million for the land. For just the land was 42 million. Then they built that giant platform with the 3 houses on top. You cannot appeal those decisions. So, and even if we, I mean, it's just, the United States just does not let in people from other countries to be nannies, basically, with very few exceptions. Basically, we'd have to have a diplomatic passport and be a foreign national. It's really complicated. So she's going to have to find work. Hey, Jonathan J.K., you want to hire a nanny? What time will I scope the apartment? I'll set my alarm. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll just do it on YouTube. My wife was like, no. So I'm not sure what we'll do. Maybe I'll make a video and put it up on YouTube and show you guys. If it's subsidized. No. Luke Skywalker. Use the Force, Luke. So I was with my son last night. We were just goofing off, and I grabbed him and I said, "I am your father," in my best Darth Vader voice. And my kid looked at me and said, "I already know that." I'm like, okay. Wish we had more time. I wish we all had more time, yeah. Hey, Paul, how's it going? I did send you a message this morning. I don't know what your schedule's like. Mine's pretty crazy, but there might be time sometime today. Yeah, you got the reference, but... Yeah, Jonathan J.K. will be here. We are going to go get some noodles in a bit, and then maybe some fish and chips. Maybe we'll do 2 lunches today. That is the peak, Hong Kong. Right now we're on Barker Road, B-A-R-K-E-R Road, making our way back down into the city. That's where Jack Ma lives now. That house has a $25 million condo he lives at in that building, 25 million US. He bought this other place, but then he just tore it down. I mean, why not? Guys, the signal's going to get a little wonky over the next few seconds, okay? But bear with me, it will come back. So if it suddenly starts looping or something like that, just hang on. Just hang on less than a minute or so. And the signal will return to normal. It's kind of the shape of the mountain around this corner. It gets a little bit wacky. So right here, guys, 22 Barker Road. 22 Barker, B-A-R-K-E-R Road. This is Jack Ma's house. Well, where's the house? He's not going to do much. He tore it down, yeah? When you spend 193 million US dollars, 193 million US, and then he flattened it. He said, remove this house. And they did. And it was good. I'm going to miss these scopes. I'm going to miss this hike. I'm going to try to enjoy today. To be honest, yesterday, I was thinking yesterday I would enjoy things. I would have free time. But yesterday sucked. Yesterday was mental. I mean, they just running through our house. And we weren't even doing the work. They were doing it. So there it is. There's the $193 million hole in the ground. Yeah? He just flattened it, made a giant hole. Now he's going to build his new Xanadu. It's Kublai Khan decreed. He will build a new house here. All right, guys, the signal's going to get wonky. We're in wonky signal time. Wonky signal time. But stay with us. We will get through this. We can prevail. I do keep the scopes. I put them up on YouTube. Penguin 6 is my channel on YouTube. I will be putting many more up there when I get back to the United States this weekend. God, it feels weird to say that. He's got the cash to spare. I mean, when you make what, 30 billion? So what do they say? You should spend 1/3 of your income on housing, and he's easily done that. let's make our way over and see more of the view behind these giant palm trees. At least it's not raining. I was worried about that. Yesterday was kind of a crap day. Lots of rain, snow. We're getting into wonky signal time. Wonky signal time. You're gonna have to walk this. Well, Jonathan J.K. is here. Raven, Tao, Bex, Rhea. I'll be back many times, I think. It's hard to leave Hong Kong. Ooh, butterfly. Maybe we'll have John Ho have a baby party, baby shower. Ken Walk Rock Creek. So guys, this house here, 100 million US, 100 million US, and over there, 70 million US. Hey, moms are hip too, welcome back. And Steve on Radio 3 is here, guys. Hey, Steve James is here. Steve on Radio 3 has just joined the scope. Steve on Radio 3 is a DJ spinning tracks and Beatles bits every Wednesday on RTHK3, the radio station that rocks AM bands across the city. Guys can follow Jonathan J.K. Yes, new beginnings. Yes, moms are hip. There he is, guys. Steve on Radio 3 has just got in the chat. You guys click on him and follow. He also does some live scopes from some of the concerts in Hong Kong. So if you want to get a little look at radio life in Hong Kong. And he plays the T song every day at 4. All lawyers in the courtroom in the middle of an alimony plea. We'll stop and have a ball when the clock strikes 4. Everything stops for tea. So, my kids sing that frickin' song. Everything Stops for Tea was a 20s or 30s song? I don't know, something like that. I actually enjoy listening to Steve on Radio 2 because he broadcasts on AM and he's on Periscope, so I can compare the lag. And it's actually only a few seconds. His Periscope feed is only a few seconds behind listening on AM. So I really, really wish they'd go to FM. So yeah, Steve on Radio 3, he scopes here from Hong Kong, Jonathan J.K., Bex, Rhea, Raven Tao. I'm just kind of a happy, shiny guy. No, I'm trying to keep myself happy so I'm not crying. I don't want to go. They can't make me go. I guess I can. Hey, there's a Tesla. What would our last scope in Hong Kong be without a Tesla? Teslas are 6 foot 1 inch wheelbase. Most roads in Hong Kong are about 6 feet wide. Guess who loses? The Tesla. These tennis courts belong to the Chief Secretary of Hong Kong, a man so old and boring and dull he doesn't play tennis. In fact, I've never seen anyone play tennis down here. They have FM on the south side of the island, and I tell you, when you put FM radio on the south side versus AM on the north side, it's just like a world of difference. And they have the bandwidth on this side, FM on this side, 106.8, just broadcasts like government propaganda music or something. It's just like, guys, just broadcast FM on the north side of the island too. And then we can listen to Steve on Radio 3 in stereo. Am I going to scope in Japan? I'm not really sure if I can get any connectivity in Japan. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, they won't crank up the power because, God forbid, this heathen music, this rock and or roll music that Steve James play, might cross over the border into mainland China and affect the youth with its gyration-inspiring music. I don't know what they do. AM does go farther, but they don't want the sounds of America broadcast into that. The devil's music going north, infecting the youth of China so that they might be inclined to buy Ferraris and Lamborghinis and drink Cristal out of a slipper. I don't know. Yeah, 95. It's been mental in DC. I've been seeing this. It's like a heat index of 100 something. I'm just like, ugh. I hope to God my air conditioners still work. But I also listen to DJ Simon, Just Dance. Every Saturday night from 6 to 8, they play club tracks on RTHK 3 to get everybody ready for Saturday night partying. And then from 8 to 10, they play classic rock for all the guys sitting at home because they're too old and foggy to go out drinking at the clubs. So from 8 to 10, I get to listen to like REO Speedwagon and Rush and all that other cool stuff. We'll see if we can show you the apartment. I am leaving tomorrow morning. China jamming the BBC. Yeah, they jam everything. I'm leaving tomorrow morning on a plane to Tokyo. So we're going to be in Tokyo tomorrow afternoon. Got to go through customs and immigration, which is going to be a real pain in the butt because I'm carrying like 6 big suitcases for 2 days in Tokyo. Customs man's going to be like, you have 6 suitcases and you're going to be in Tokyo 2 days. Will it suffer? I think the biggest problem my channel is going to face is the time zone. Because let's face it, right now I'm broadcasting in prime time, United States. Pretty much all of you are around your computers or in bed, eating a bag of Doritos, longing for a world far away where beautiful women drop $100 grapes into your mouth. Anyway, so not broadcasting, I'm going to be broadcasting in the middle of the day for you guys when you're sitting at the office listening to some guy goes, you need to put a cover sheet on your TPS reports, you know. So, I mean, I think I'm going to lose some traffic. Why so many suitcases? Because it's free. Because I need to carry, the boat won't get back to America for 2 months, yeah? So I need to carry 2 months worth of stuff. My wife will come over in a few weeks, yeah. Well, if they open up the bags, they're going to be like, why do you have 4 soccer balls, a bunch of Pokemon cards? Okay, guys, signal weirdness. Yeah, signal is going to get weird here. Stay with us. We'll keep broadcasting, but sometimes the signal gets weird here. Oh, that's true. It could be late night in Europe, so the Europeans might be listening to me. Oh, it's all trees. It must have rained pretty hard back here last night. Does Hong Kong women look as good? Yeah, they're like everywhere. So that's the problem in Hong Kong. For every 4 women, there's only 3 men. I mean, this is a mathematical fact. For every 4 single women in Hong Kong, there are only 3 single guys. And when you factor out the number of guys who are too weird to date, who'd rather date mainland girls, or only want to date boys, the numbers get even worse for single women. So, guess what? Great place to be if you're a single guy. No, this is just, I don't know, the pathway's just getting grown over. The signal has been behaving. I think it's a sign from the telecommunications gods they want me to broadcast. I will be scoping from the United States. We will go to some Chinese restaurants. I'll be ordering in Chinese, and they'll all be looking at me like, what the hell are you saying, white boy? Here's an interesting fact. Ling Du Kala is Diet Coke. Ling Du Kala. However, most of the Chinese in America emigrated before Diet Coke was introduced into China. So they never learned the Chinese word for Diet Coke. They know it as Diet Coke. So if I go into a Chinese restaurant in America and I'm like, Ling Du Kala, they're like, what are you talking about, white boy? I'm like, Ling Du Kala. And they're like, there's no such thing as Ling Du Kala. I'm like, it's a Diet Coke. Then why did you just say Diet Coke? And he says, because in China it's called Ling Du Kala. They're like, but we're in America. And I'm like, yeah, but you're speaking Chinese to me. Yeah. Anyway, weird little thing about languages, yeah? As words develop, expat populations start to lose those words. That's why in Creole French, the word for automobile is actually horseless carriage. But in France, they have a different word for automobile. Did you ever know that? The Creoles, because they had already settled into the United States outside of the French language, when new things came out, like the automobile, they didn't have it. Hey, Kevin, thanks you for watching. We'll have a good flight. Same thing is true with Diet Coke. Maybe tears before bedtime. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a crying on the inside kind of clown. Oh, look at that view. First world problems. I've had a lot of first world problems lately. Halfway rock, halfway down. So as I was mentioning earlier, I have taken this walk over the last 4 years approximately 11 to 1,200 times. What meals are we going to eat? So after this, at 11 o'clock here in Hong Kong, I don't even know what time it is now. Let me see. Hang on. It's 9. Oh, so in 1 hour, guys, in 1 hour, we are going to have our last bowl of noodles at Chim Cha Kee. And then probably at 12 o'clock, I think we might have our last fish and chips. Our last fish and chips. We've got coffee out the wazoo. They've got all sorts of gourmet coffee. They have a place called like Coffee Academics, implying that like the drinking of coffee is a measure of academia. I personally like whatever. Hong Kong women online date. Well, most of them use the apps like Coffee Meets Bagel. That's the dating app. Coffee Meets Bagel is very popular over here. They use WeChat because it has a find people nearby sort of functionality. If you go into WeChat and say who's nearby, you can always find someone to chat with. But a lot of them are on these videoed sites. Menu would pick same noodles. Oh, cool. I might have to go up there to Tata. You know what's interesting? In New York, they actually have an Indian Chinese restaurant. So if you've ever had Chinese food in India, it's just like a panoply of spices. There's spices everywhere, like all sorts of wild Indian spices thrown into the Chinese food. And there is an Indian Chinese restaurant in New York City. Pacific Coffee, I guess, is good. You know, you're asking a guy who doesn't drink coffee. Jonathan J.K. said he is going to walk the peak a few more times. I am going to tell the noodle people that I'm moving today. In fact, my wife is going to write it down on a piece of paper. I'm moving to America. Goodbye. Thank you for all the noodles. And if Raven can join me, then maybe she can translate into Cantonese. I told the dumpling man yesterday, he gave me an extra dumpling for free. So we're on the Chatham Path, Chatham, also known as the Central Green Trail. We're going up on number 1 Chatham Path, which you can Google online and see pictures of. It's an old school for Eurasians. DM me. Well, Penguin6 is my Twitter. You can always DM me. My nanny is not going. We're going to have fish and chips at 12. Matthew, last time we're going to see Matthew. So in the old days, the worst thing to be in Hong Kong was mixed race, Eurasian, because you didn't belong to the white community and you didn't belong to the Asian community. Eurasian kids were kind of beat up and treated badly, so they opened this building, which was a school for Eurasian children, who were kind of like the orphans of Hong Kong. Now it is a 6-bedroom, 6,000 square foot apartment, separate maids' quarters, number 1 Chatham Path, available for $33,000 US dollars a month, 33,000 American dollars. One whole dumpling. It was good though. It was really good. We'll go back there. That's what they all say. You're leaving? Yeah, you'll be back. It's been funny reaction. All my American friends are like, oh my God, you must be so glad to be leaving that city. And all my Hong Kong friends are like, oh my God, you must be so sad to be leaving this city. I'm like, yep. Different strokes. In fact, my mom is really excited I'm coming back. And I'm just like, she's like so excited it's almost annoying. It is annoying. Just like, don't be so gleeful at my misery. Eurasians now, they're fine. Eurasians are actually very popular in advertisements in Hong Kong, like models and stuff like that. Raven is mixed. She's a Eurasian model. Who's another one? Helen Chan. Yeah, she's the Helen Chan. She's an Instagram gal. She's like half Swedish, half Chinese. What items do we stock up to? I'm going to go to Jimmy John's. No, we're not going to go to Big Ferdinand's. I don't know what items we stocked up on. To be honest, it was really hard. We're not allowed to take much food on the plane or on the shipping container, so we weren't really able to stock up on much. I have to find a new supplier of Walker's baked potato chips, which are pretty much my now favorite potato chips. That's crisp to you in England. I'm going to be buying Walker's baked salt and vinegars. How are the half Chinese black? I'm not sure how they're treated. It's kind of a new development, but up in Guangzhou, China, there's quite a large number of African traders working. Morning. So there are a lot of, what do they call them? Blasians, I guess, was one of the expressions I once heard. Black Asians. So that is an exterminator crew making its way up to that house, kind of saying, my God, why did I take this job? I have to walk up a mountain. Burger shop on top of the rooftop, that is Shake Shack, and I think my youngest is going to go to Shake Shack later today. No, all the cereal I bought in the U.S. See, Hong Kong is a free trade port, yeah, so you can take anything into Hong Kong. They don't care, just bring it in, that's fine. But the United States has pretty severe customs tariffs and whatnot and restrictions on food. So, a little bit different. This is, yeah, no Marks and Spencer. I'm not sure why Marks and Spencer food hasn't moved to the United States. I'm actually going to write them a letter. Say, you guys should move to the United States or else. And they'll be like, or else what? Or else I will write you a letter telling you how angry I am with you for not moving to the United States. Lunch today, noodles. Lunch today, too, is going to be fish and chips. 50% of the Hong Kong population lives in public or government-subsidized housing. Another large percentage bought their housing years ago, leaving the young people and the expats to fight over the remaining extremely expensive housing. Ooh, it's hot. 10,000 live, that's good. I need Drake's cakes. No, I don't think so. Ooh. So here's the May Road tram station. I took many a Christmas card photos. In fact, I should take the kids back here. I should take one last set of pictures here. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that this afternoon if they're not being jerks. Hey, thanks for the super heart. Maybe I'll take the kids back there where we've taken so many Christmas card photos in the past 8 years. Take one last series of photos. There's a Tesla. It's not Hong Kong unless it's a Tesla. Didn't know anything about Hong Kong. Yeah, that's cool. Can rent my home to tourists. No, I gotta return it. Why are we moving back? Some job opportunities back in the U.S. and some educational opportunities for my kids. We just couldn't pass up. Are we going to look for a nanny in the U.S.? Not immediately, but eventually, yes. I think we will be bringing on a nanny in the U.S. We usually hire Chinese nannies in America because they just speak Chinese. It is a capitalist system, but it's sort of more of this mercantilist system in which those who are connected have first crack. It's also very monopolistic. The monopolies control everything. So it's very difficult to, say, open a new internet company. I've lived here 8 years, moving to Washington, D.C. Right now I'm headed home. Steve on Radio 3 isn't here. He's another scoper from Hong Kong. Jonathan J.K.'s been around. Bex Ray Rea, Raven Tao, John Ho. Who else is from Scope Team here? I'm an attorney. I don't think I'm going to go back to practicing law, but I am going to go back and do something. Is this Remy? I know this kid. Hey. What's up, Remy?
Hi.
What are you doing?
Just going for a walk.
Hey, do you want to see Ant-Man and the Wasp today? Yeah, we're going to go at 1:15.
Okay.
So
where?
in Central. But you can go down with us. I text your mom later, okay?
Okay.
All right. So that's my son's buddy who lives across the street, and he wants to go see the movie with us today. Hey, Maryland. I have a house in Maryland I have to sell. Ideally, I'd sell the house immediately and go buy a new house in D.C., but the house in Maryland needs to be polished up. Cherry Wong, yeah, Cherry Wong Photo is part of the Scope Team Hong Kong. I don't know if she's here right now. That was Remming, that's kid next door. He's a funny kid. He was actually like the crazy bully kid in the building, and then he met our kids and like became like normal. And his parents were like, "My kid is so well behaved with you. He's just out for a walk." Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Howard County, I know where that is. I live in Calvert County. Where are we going? We're going home. Then we're going to move back to the United States tomorrow. Tomorrow we move to. We're going to Tokyo for a couple days. And then on to Washington, D.C. over the weekend. Remming, yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know, it's sort of an anglicization of a Chinese name. Oh, guys, we're coming to the end. Yeah, there's my building. There's my building. Where's my apartment? My apartment, oh, it's up there. I can see it. I know which one it is. It's the one with the bookcase in the window. No. Where is it? It's up there. Anyway, time to go up into my tiny little apartment. 38 stories. This is the smallest building on the street. 38 stories. I'll stay in my house in America. I have a house in America. I know you guys want to tour the house, but, well, we'll see. Maybe later today we'll do a quick scope tour of the house. So, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. We're we're going to be out around several times today. We're going to have our last noodles in about an hour, the last fish and chips in about 2 hours, and then we'll see what else we can do today. I'm going to go home and dry off. It's very hot and sweaty today. One last hike around the peak. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you come to Hong Kong one day. I'm going to sign off. I'll see you guys in another hour when we go out and have our last noodles.